Hello, welcome to Flyaway. In this video, you will learn how to play our squawking fun game about bird migration so that you can vie to be the ultimate bird conservationist. In Flyaway, you'll be helping our feathered friends along their journeys on the East Asian Australasian Flyway. To win, a player must collect the greatest number of points from placing links, completing migratory routes, and saving birds. Players will compete to collect as many points as possible until the game ends under one of these two circumstances. A player saves 6 birds, or all foul play cards are drawn. Everyone then tallies their total points and the player with the highest score wins. In this video, we will be setting the game up for 2 players. First, distribute a pawn and 35 links of the same color to each player. The pawn is used to keep track of a player's score, while links are used to create migratory routes to save birds. Next, we will be setting up the 3 boards in the game: the bird board, the map board, and the event board. You can place your player pawns at the 0 mark on the map board. You move up and down the score track as you earn and lose points. Let's start setting up the bird board. This is meant for bird cards, which show the birds you'll be trying to save as you complete migratory routes. Shuffle the bird cards and place them on the bird deck slot. Then take the top 3 cards and place them face up in the roosting area. Next, check the start and end points indicated on each of the 3 bird cards, and place the location markers on the map accordingly. Once you're done with setting up the bird board and placing the location markers, move on to the event board. This is for 2 types of events: Wing It and Foul Play. Wing It cards have effects that will boost your chances of winning the game. Shuffle them and distribute 2 to each player. Place the remaining Wing It cards on the event board. Foul play cards, on the other hand, have effects that will hinder your success in the game. These are divided into 3 tiers based on the severity of their effects. The number of foul play cards in each game is determined by the number of players as seen in this table. For this 2-player game, we will be using 8 cards for Tier 1, 6 cards for Tier 2, and another 6 for Tier 3. Shuffle each of the tiers separately. The tiers are separated by 2 disastrous events called Bird-tastrophes, which affect all players unlike foul play events. Shuffle the 6 Bird-tastrophe cards and pick 2 for the foul play deck. First, place the Tier 3 deck down on the foul play deck slot. Then, take the first Bird-tastrophe card and place it on the Tier 3 deck. Then, place the Tier 2 deck on the first Bird-tastrophe card, and then take the second Bird-tastrophe card and place it on the Tier 2 deck. Finally, place the Tier 1 deck on the second Bird-tastrophe card. You should now be all set up and ready for play with your bird deck shuffled and the 3 birds laid out in the roosting area, the location markers for the 3 birds placed on the map, the Wing It cards shuffled and 2 distributed to each player, the foul play cards arranged, with the Tier 1 deck on top, and player pawns ready at the 0 mark and 35 links distributed to each player. Before we move on to playing the game, here's a reminder. The objective of this game is to get the most number of points from placing links, completing migratory routes, and saving birds. To start playing the game, select a first player and take turns clockwise. On each turn, players will go through 3 phases: the draw phase, the action phase, and the cleanup phase. During the draw phase, a player takes 1 Wing It card and 1 foul play card. You will have to resolve the foul play card's effect before proceeding with play. You can either carry out the effect as stated on the card, or neutralize the effect using 1 or more Wing It cards called squawk cards. This is where the action phase comes in, when you can use squawk and other Wing It cards. Squawk cards come with values from 1 to 3 and can be used to neutralize foul play effects. The neutralizing cost for each foul play is shown on the top right corner of the card. You can play a squawk card on its own, or combine it with other squawk cards to neutralize a foul play effect. Once you've resolved a foul play card, place it in the discard pile on the event board. Squawk cards can be used to neutralize foul play effects, but not bird-tastrophes. These disastrous events, when drawn, affect all players and cannot be reversed during the action phase. Besides squawk cards, you can use other wing it cards to help you place links on the map and save birds. You can keep up to 5 wing it cards in your hand at the end of each turn unless certain cards say otherwise. Discard the excess cards. These discarded wing it cards can be shuffled and used again if all the wing it cards from the draw pile are drawn before the end of the game. Now that we've covered the wing it cards, it's time to move on to placing links so that you can start saving birds. On the map, you will see wetland, open country, and forest habitats. The lines between habitats are known as linkways. Each linkway can only hold 1 link. A bird is saved when enough links are placed to complete its migratory route from the start point to the end point. You can place up to 3 links each turn, but you must abide by the right connection rule. You can place a link only when it connects with another link of yours. This means that you can either place 2 links in a row that connect with each other, or place 1 or more links that connect to previously placed links. You cannot place a link that is isolated like this. You also cannot place a single link like this without connecting to another of your own link. Another thing players need to know about placing links is the general direction of the migratory routes they use to save birds. While players can place links wherever they would like on the map, the migratory routes they use to save birds must be from north to south. This is because migratory birds only fly downwards during their autumn journey. To save a bird, you'll have to be the player who places the last link to complete its migratory route. Here, you can see that it's the blue player who saves the bird. In this route, you can see that the bird will be able to travel in a general direction from north to south. Here's a route that cannot be used when saving a bird. Migratory birds, generally, do not fly back north to the direction they came from as seen in this route. Once you save a bird, you can collect it from the roosting area and place it in front of you. Each bird comes with a bird power that you can use during the action phase. Pay attention to the exact conditions for use of bird powers. Most bird powers can only be used on subsequent turns after saving a bird, while some can be used immediately. Once you successfully save a bird, you will also gain points indicated on the card, and this is where you'll be tallying points. Players will also add additional points based on the number of links they contributed to the route they used to save the bird. Each link is equal to 1 point. Besides the player who saved the bird, others who've contributed to the route the player used also get points. Finally, in the cleanup phase, new birds are drawn to replace any that might have been saved during the action phase. When replacing bird cards in the roosting area and changing the location markers, do not remove any of the links you used to save birds. Links are only removed if certain foul play or bird-tastrophe cards come into play. That's it for all 3 phases of the game. The game continues until the last round of play is triggered by one of the 2 previously mentioned scenarios. When a player saves 6 birds, or when all foul play cards have been drawn. All players will have to take an equal number of turns by the end of the game. So if the last player, meaning the second player in our 2-player setup, saves 6 birds, or draws all of the foul play cards, the game ends then and there. However, if another player triggers the last round of play, like the first player in our setup, the game continues until the second player completes their turn. In the event that you run out of foul play cards before the last round of the play can end, shuffle the Tier 3 foul play cards from the discard pile and place them into the draw pile to form a new deck. Once all players have played their final turns and the game ends, they can tally their total points, including any bonus points. The player with the highest score wins. With that, we've covered most of the game and you should be able to start saving birds. As you start filling the map with links, there might be instances where migratory routes are already completed when a new bird is drawn from the roosting area. Here's what you should do in such instances. Here are two options. In the first one, let's say it's the blue player's turn. They can save this bird by foregoing the drawn action phases, meaning they will not be able to draw or play any cards or place any links, after which it becomes the next player's turn. Alternatively, you can opt not to forego your drawn action phases and play as normal. There might be another place on the map where you can place a link and save the bird. That's all you need to know to start playing Flyaway. If you have further queries on cards effects and gameplay decisions, you can refer to our online appendix. You can also reach out to us in the comment section below. Good luck on your journey, and may the ultimate bird conservationist win!